Hello, this is Alarm 25, and today I'm doing a video on basically what will happen in the later movies of The Hobbit. From the book, that I've been reading the book of The Hobbit, and I'm almost about halfway through to the chapter Flies and Spiders. And I'm going to explain, maybe first I'll explain what exactly happens. So after the eagles have rescued him, and then I'll explain afterwards I'll explain afterwards just what, things that have been changed for the movie in the book, because there are a few things that are different that I'll notice when reading through the book. But right now I'll put a map up. This is the map of Wilderland, and so here you can see right about here at the end of Misty Mountains Key, Goblin Gate and EOV. I can't exactly, but this is after they've escaped, and Carrot, where they continue on down to the river to escape the goblins, and after the eagles came to save them, they went to Carrick and they dropped off at Carrick. I think so anyway, I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure it was Carrick, but I've forgotten what Carrick meant now. I remember reading it in the book, and afterwards they travelled. Gandalf said there's a man who lives not very far. There's very little people that live around the area in the Mirkwood and the Lonely Mountain. So obviously the man's called Bjorn, and he is an easily tempered man. There's been tales saying of his ancestors were a bear, and he's very, he's easily tempered. So Gandalf goes to meet him, and he says, "I'm a friend of the wizard Radagast." And obviously I think Radagast and Bjorn, being in common, because they both love wildlife, and because Bjorn is a vegetarian, and he looks after his horses, and as if they were his children, and he obviously he's easily tempered. So Gandalf's still dwarf is easily tempered. So knock every 5 minutes and come in pairs of twos. Me and Bilbo, enter first and meet Bjorn and see what this man's like. I've never met him. So Bjorn, he obviously asks all the dwarves to come in, and after Gandalf's told him his tale, and he obviously Bjorn gives him some horses, and he feeds him, and they have rest. And in the morning they continue up down to Mirkwood. And Mirkwood is quite a dark forest where the giant spiders live, and I'm constantly also I'm off topic a bit, but I found on the map these bits where it says Woodman, and Woodman were the Lords of the Eagles that came to rescue them. Said, we can't fly you over Mirkwood or take you any further, because we get our sheep and our food from these woodmen, and if we went anywhere near them, they would attack us, and we will be attacked and killed by them. So it's unsafe to we will have to drop you off here, and so there's a little bit of an explanation. But obviously the dwarf, when they reach on the journey to Mirkwood, obviously Bilbo, he notices a bear following him every night. He sees a bear, and he asks Gandalf, and Gandalf doesn't answer him. Gandalf says, it's maybe an illusion, or he's not really bothered by it. But where they finally reach Mirkwood, and the dwarves, Gandalf says, "I'm going to have to let go of your ponies now and let them back to Bjorn." The dwarves are quite grumpy about this, because after all, they don't want to, and they've lost the ponies, they've lost the food and supplies, and after they've resupplied and everything, they don't want to lose the ponies. But obviously Bjorn, being a bear, they're following him, checking him, because the horses are like his children that he looks after, and the ponies and these horses, they let him back, and Gandalf says he has matters to deal with in the south. So these matters in the south, too sure. I'm read completely on the book, but I think maybe it could be something to do with it could be to do with the necromancer, or possibly even the necromancer and maybe this battle that farmers. So we're not too sure, and he says we'll rejoin with him later on the journey. So at the moment of reading, they're through their journey in Mirkwood on the Old Forest Road, which is here, this Old Forest Road, and on the journey to get to the end. But I think they take the Old Forest Road, and then through the mountains of Mirkwood, we see an arrow pointing in the eyes of Mirkwood. But I think that's not no importance. But I think they follow the path, walk through the enchanted road, I think that says, and then up to the Elven King's Hall. I think that happens, because it does mention, like, when in the book there's illustrations of the Elven King's Hall, so they must visit the Elven King's Halls, and they must travel there to reach the Long Lake of Asgaroth, and then up to the Lonely Mountain. So basically that's far so far I've got through the book, and it's a great read so far, and it explains, and I'll explain now a bit about some of the bits that they've changed in the movie, which they've changed the sort of the meeting of Gollum. They're being chased out of after Gandalf releases them from the chains, and they all run out. Then Gandalf saves them. They're all running out of the caves, and Bilbo, obviously they send, after chasing them, they know they can't keep up with them, so they send a scout sort of goblins, and they trip out one of the dwarves that Bilbo is, he can't run fast, so the dwarf's carrying him. He falls over into the darkness, and he's crawling around in the darkness. No dwarves around, there's no goblins around. That's when he's crawled, and he finds a cold metal ring on the floor, which he puts in his pocket. He can know importance. And then he meets Gollum, who's it says, he has a little island on this lake, and he sails back and forth in his little boat. And they have the riddle game, like we see in the movie. The orcs that we see, they have nothing to do with it. The orcs, the goblins, after they do escape from the mountain, the goblins chase them, and they find the warg sort of like resting ground, and they have to climb the trees, and they're being attacked by the wargs. And then the Lord of the Eagles, he actually knows Gandalf doesn't call for the eagles, but he notices the fire in the woods, and that's when they actually fly over and see what's happening. So I'm going to make another video after I've read more of the book. And thanks for watching anyway. Read the book if you can. A great read before the rest of the movies come out. We've got another 2 years. The rest of this year and then next year. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll read the rest of the book and more information shortly. Thank you. Bye.